CaseWORTH enables you to enter as much or as little detail as each case requires. A small or simple case may only need the total medicals billed and paid. A more complex case might include the details of individual doctor visits, scanned documentation to support damage claims, projected future damages, and so on. The Claimant Info tab allows you to track claimant information like address, phone numbers, age, social, etc. The Case Info tab tracks things like the plaintiff, defendant, case number, court, and judge, as well as contact info for multiple insurance companies and opposing counsel. The fields in both these tabs are customizable, so CaseWORTH can be configured to track any information you wish. Each medical provider in the case is listed with the total amount they have billed the claimant, how much the provider has been paid by the claimant or any subrogation sources, and the total amount currently due to each medical provider in this case. The total billed, paid, and due for all medical providers is shown at the top of the tab. The total billed by all providers is always visible on the Medical Expenses button. CaseWORTH can save medical providers from each case to a global list, so once you enter a provider for one case, you never have to enter him again for a new case. When you create a new case, you simply open the global provider list and check the providers you need to include in this case. CaseWORTH helps you negotiate with medical providers and subrogation sources and shows you the negotiated amounts and how they impact the totals due. Each provider has one or more statement where the billed amounts are entered and subrogation payments are posted. For complex cases, you may optionally choose to enter legally significant service dates that show what the provider did for the claimant when. This allows CaseWORTH to show total charges by diagnostic, pharmaceutical, and treatment categories. It also allows you to print an up-to-date medical treatment timeline report in a few seconds. Enter subrogation payments made to this provider statement, and CaseWORTH will show you the total due to this and all providers. The payments made by all subrogation sources are detailed here. Adjustments made by subrogation sources to medical provider bills are shown here. The total paid by all subro sources is always shown on the Subro Payments button. CaseWORTH can track lost earnings from one or more income source where the claimant has missed work. You can enter as many periods of lost income as necessary to fully document what was lost from each income source. The total lost from each source is shown, and the total lost from all income sources is always shown on the Past Earning button. Using information from existing documents like check stubs and tax returns, the CaseWORTH Future Damage Wizard can project future earning losses and reduce them to present value. The projections are displayed in a table that is hard for an insurance adjuster to argue with and easy for a jury member to understand. Just like the Past Earnings tab, the Future Earnings tab can track future lost earnings from one or more income sources where the claimant's injuries will keep him from working. You can enter as many lump sum or yearly period entries as necessary to represent the claimant's future income losses. Each yearly future loss is assigned a starting dollar amount, how many years the loss will continue, and how the amount is expected to change over time. Using historical documentation to show changes in the claimant's income, CaseWORTH can project expected cost of living increases and/or raises in future years. This loss starts in 2006 at $21,000. The claimant is projected to get a 2% raise every year and a 3% cost of living increase every other year. These increases are totaled and the yearly amount is reduced to its present value based on the rate selected by the attorney. The projected losses continue for 23 years until 2028. The real and present value totals from each source is shown, and the total present value from all income sources is always shown on the Future Earning button. CaseWORTH projects lump sum and yearly future medical expenses just like the Future Earnings. The only difference is the projections are based on medical providers' expert testimony rather than historical documentation from an income source. CaseWORTH can separately track expenses from your firm and all co-counsel firms on a case. The total expenses for each firm are shown, and the total expenses for all firms are always shown on the Firm Expense button. The firm expenses are also available by payee, so you can see where the money is going in the case. CaseWORTH offers reports of firm expenses in either of these views. The Damage Summary tab shows a summary of all damages and expenses from all the other tabs. This allows you to see the past and future damages separately and a grand total of damages for the case all in one place. The color-coded areas correspond with the button colors for the various tabs. If you choose to create service date entries for the medical providers, CaseWORTH can summarize the medical expenses in diagnostic, pharmaceutical, and treatment categories. Any expenses you did not specify with the service date are left in the unassigned column. You can dig deeper to see which medical providers did the most work in a specific category. The Expense Liens Due button always shows you how much must be paid to all medical providers and subro sources to close all open accounts in the case. All medical providers are shown here with the options to see the liens they have filed, enter details of any billing negotiations, verify the amount due, or follow the claimant's instructions to simply not pay at all. Amounts due to all subrogation sources are available here. Notice CaseWORTH can be set to hold out a cost of collection fee from some subro sources. The CaseWORTH settlement calculator allows the attorney to track the demand offer history for a case and see how close it is to a settlement. The opposing negotiator contact information is always available. Enter the claimant authorized net, and CaseWORTH will show the required offer necessary to pay all the bills, cover the firm's fee and expenses, and get the claimant the amount they need. With an initial demand of $900,000, the CaseWORTH settlement calculator shows the firm net, covers the firm expenses, it pays remaining medical expenses with any negotiations, it pays subrogation reimbursements, taking cost of collection into account, and finally it shows the claimant's net. CaseWORTH always shows where everyone stands as the settlement talks progress. The what-if calculator works the same way, but allows you to adjust any number to see how it impacts the claimant net. You can save different settlement scenarios by clicking the Copy to What-If Calculator to Memo button. CaseWORTH allows you to put all of its powerful organization and calculation features on paper or PDF for email. Every CaseWORTH tab includes a print button that allows you to print the tab as you want it shown. You have the option to print any of the reports to paper or save them as a PDF so they can be emailed. If you decided to enter the legally significant service dates on the Medical Expenses tab, it is very easy to create a medical treatment timeline report in a few seconds. As the case progresses, any additional services that are entered will automatically be shown when you create a new timeline report. The Damage Package report shows all the damages in the case, formatted specifically for sharing with the insurance adjuster or opposing counsel. This PDF report can be emailed to update the opposing party before each settlement discussion, or as often as necessary to keep the opposing party informed of the current damages. Finally, when the case is settled and all negotiations with the medical providers and subro sources are complete, CaseWORTH will create a detailed settlement statement for your claimant to review and sign. CaseWORTH works the same way a paralegal manually builds a case. CaseWORTH just gives the paralegal a structured place to put all the information, then does the